Why does a simple text from your mom trigger the same stress response as seeing a wild bear? It sounds dramatic, but your brain scans do not lie. If you have ever felt physically sick before a family dinner, or wanted to fake your own death just to avoid Uncle Derek's politics, listen closely. You are not antisocial. You are not broken. Science proves that for many people, family gatherings are processed biologically as a threat to survival. Today, we are decoding exactly why your body rejects forced bonding and how to stop the guilt loop right now. Let's start with the biology of control. Your brain has a fundamental need for autonomy. When you hang out with friends, that is voluntary. You chose them. Your brain categorizes that as safety. Family gatherings are, by definition, what psychologists call obligatory socialization. You are not there because you want to be. You are there because you have to be. Here is the scientific kicker. To your primitive brain, a lack of choice looks a lot like a trap. When your brain senses that you cannot easily leave a situation, it stops processing the event as a social gathering and starts processing it as confinement. The moment you walk through that front door, your amygdala, the ancient threat detection center of your brain, wakes up and smashes the panic button. It scans the room. It sees your aunt who judges your career. It sees your dad who talks over you. It does not see loved ones. It sees active threats to your emotional safety. Because your brain cannot distinguish between a predator in a cave and an invasive question at the dinner table, it triggers the exact same stress response. Your heart rate spikes. Your cortisol floods in. You enter fight or flight mode. If you find yourself snapping at small comments, that is the fight response. If you find yourself hiding in the bathroom, scrolling your phone for 20 minutes, that is not you being rude. That is the flight response. You are literally trying to escape a situation your biology has flagged as dangerous. It is not an attitude problem. It is a survival mechanism. Now, let's layer on the neuroscience of why you suddenly act like a completely different person the moment you step into your childhood home. Have you ever noticed that you can be a successful professional who manages million-dollar budgets or saves lives for a living, but 5 minutes after walking through your parents' door, you are arguing about whose turn it is to wash the dishes like a moody teenager? This is not a personality flaw. This is a neurological phenomenon called psychological regression. Think of your family dynamic as an emotional time machine. During your formative years, your brain built massive neural highways to deal with your specific family members. These pathways are deep and well-traveled, like the Grand Canyon of your mind. When you return to that environment, your brain recognizes the sensory cues, the smell of the house, the tone of your mother's voice, and it automatically switches to default mode. Essentially, your brain loads an old operating system from 1997 because it is the most efficient way to predict the environment. It bypasses your adult prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for logic and emotional regulation, and reactivates the coping mechanisms you used when you were a powerless child. You are not immature. You are just running on old software. If you are realizing right now that your brain has been playing tricks on you this whole time, drop the number 3 inches the comments. Let me know that you are committed to understanding your own programming, not just reacting to it. So, when your dad makes that one specific comment and you feel small, helpless, or irrationally angry, realize that your brain has temporarily lost access to your adult resources. You are fighting a battle with the emotional tools of a 14-year-old, and that is why it feels so exhausting. But the exhaustion goes deeper than just regression. It is about the sheer cost of the performance. Even if you are not fighting, you are likely working overtime as your own public relations manager. Psychologists call this emotional labor. You are not just existing, you are curating. You are laughing at jokes that are not funny. You are dodging political landmines. You are pretending to care about your cousin's crypto portfolio. This requires massive amounts of cognitive control, which burns through your brain's glucose supply faster than a high-intensity workout. That is why you can leave a family dinner feeling physically drained even though you sat on a couch for 4 hours. Then there is the comparison festival. Humans are wired for social comparison, but family gatherings turn this dial up to 11. Questions like, "Are you seeing anyone?" or "When are you buying a house?" are not just questions. They are evaluations. And here is the most fascinating part. Neuroimaging studies show that social rejection, the feeling of being judged or falling short, activates the exact same region of the brain as physical pain. When your aunt criticizes your life choices, your brain processes it with the same severity as stubbing your toe. The only difference is, the toe stops hurting after a minute. The emotional sting follows you home. Let's try a little psychological experiment. If you are enjoying this deep dive, comment the number 0. But if you hate how exposed you feel, hit that like button. Basically, you are walking through a minefield of judgment while trying to maintain a perfect mask. No wonder you need a nap. So, here is the radical reframe. That physical dread you feel, it is not hate. It is data. Your body is not rejecting your family. It is rejecting the violation of your boundaries. In psychology, we talk a lot about agency, the feeling that you are in control of your own life. When you visit family, that agency is often stripped away. Your privacy becomes public property. Your decisions become debate topics. The friction you feel is actually a sign of growth. It means you have evolved past the role they assigned you 20 years ago. You are trying to fit your current, expanded self into a box that is now too small. That discomfort is not you being difficult. It is you being too big for the old container. This changes everything. If the pain comes from a lack of control, the solution is to reclaim it. We need to stop seeing boundaries as walls that shut people out and start seeing them as gates that keep you safe so you can actually be present. For example, booking a hotel instead of sleeping in your childhood twin bed is not an act of rejection. It is an act of preservation. By securing a safe space to decompress, you are regulating your nervous system. You are ensuring that when you are with your family, you are showing up as your best adult self, not your triggered child self. You are not running away. You are strategically retreating to recharge. This is the difference between surviving the holidays and actually enjoying them. You are allowed to love them and still need to leave at 9 p.m. to protect your peace. That is not selfish, that is sustainable. Ultimately, hating family gatherings does not make you a bad person. It makes you human. It makes you a human with a nervous system that knows its limits. We have covered the biology of obligation, the time travel of regression, and the high cost of masking. All of it is real. The exhaustion you feel is valid evidence, not a character flaw. So, give yourself a permission slip today. You can love your family deeply and still need to love them from a distance sometimes. Love does not require self-destruction. Your survival guide is simple. Go strategic. Shorten the visits, find an ally, and never apologize for doing what keeps you sane. You do not owe anyone access to your energy, not even the people who share your DNA. If you felt seen by this video, share it with your favorite cousin, you know the one, and subscribe for more ways to survive being human. You've got this.